I used to think making homemade tortillas was very difficult, but when I found this recipe, I realized it wasn't. The first thing you need to do is to preheat your griddle or skillet that you are going to be using. You should preheat it to about 350 degrees. The utensils you need are pretty good sized mixing bowls because if you have it too small, it will make mixing it very difficult. You need measuring cups, a rolling pin, and another measuring cup. The ingredients you need are flour, vegetable oil, salt, and warm water. You want to get 3 cups of flour, but if you are allergic to flour, you can substitute it for cornmeal. You want to be sure you don't pack it in because you will actually get more than what you are needed. It's very important to try to get as close to the measurement as you can, but if you're a little off, it's okay. It's not going to make that big of a difference. Once you get it all measured pretty good, it's best to get down and look at it more eye level to get the best measurement. Once you get it all measured, you want to pour it into your mixing bowl. You want to be sure you get it all out. The next ingredient you want to use is a cup of warm water. You just want to pour it in. It doesn't matter what ingredients you use first or what you use. It will all mix the same way. After that, you want to measure 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. The best way to especially do any liquid is to get actual down at eye level and measure it, because if you hold it in your hand will shake and you won't get the best measurement for it. Just pour it in your mixing bowl along with your other ingredients. The last ingredient you need is a teaspoon of salt. It's best to measure it over the bowl. That way if you spill any, it lands inside the bowl and not on your countertop, and it makes cleanup easier. The best way to get this all mixed together is to use your hands. It makes it mix better, and without using a spoon, it makes it easier to mix it all together without splashing the flour everywhere. It may seem like it's not going to mix all together at first, but you just got to be sure you knead it together and just squish it between your fingers and it will all roll together. While mixing it, you want to try to get all of it off of your fingers. That way it all gets mixed together and none is left behind. It should all clump up together pretty well once you have it all mixed up. Then after that, you want to flour your countertop, because if you don't, it will stick and it will make it very messy and it will be very difficult to deal with. You don't want to put too much on your countertop because then you might get too much on your tortillas, but you just want to get a little bit, that way it doesn't stick. You want to make sure you spread it out, because if you all have it in one place, it's not going to be very good. You want to pinch off about 1-inch balls and start to form them together in your hand. Like kind of flatten them together. It just makes rolling it out easier. Okay, then you want to lightly flour your rolling pin, because you want to make sure you flour your countertop and your rolling pin or it's all going to stick. Make sure you have enough room and you just begin to roll it out. Make sure you don't just roll it in the same spot and you move it all in different directions. It's not going to form a circle like you would see in most Mexican restaurants, but that's okay. It'll mainly form an oval shape depending on how much you pinch off or how you got it combined. But if you want any particular shape, you can just get a cookie cutter or cut it with a knife into whatever shape you want to. You can have it roll to about whatever thickness you want to. It's just really how you prefer it, but it's not going to be the best shape. After you roll it out, you want to put it on your griddle or skillet, whatever you're using, and it doesn't, if you think you have extra flour from your rolling pin or the countertop, it'll fall off when you put it on there, and because it'll just hit the griddle and the excess will fall off. You want to make sure it's just browned on each side. All you want to have is those little specks you see on tortillas you would buy in the store or what. But whenever it's cooked, it's best to put some melted butter on top. It gives it extra flavor, and it's just, I just like it that way, but some people don't, but you don't have to do it. But while mixing it, you can put any extra seasoning you want to give it a different flavor, but I'd rather just keep it simple. And you want to make sure you look at it because you don't want it to get burned on the side. You want to try to get it as evenly cooked as possible. It shouldn't take very long to get it browned on each side, but it's best to just leave it alone and let it brown on its own. But once it's brown, you just pull it off, and you can set it on a plate or whatever, and you just put some melted butter on top, and that's it. Flour tortillas can be very simple to make and very fun for the family to make together.